Over the past few weeks, Lowe's has started rolling out its first wave of new tools for 2026. And if you've been in store recently, you've probably noticed the updated boxes and fresh tags showing up across the aisles. Some of these are designed for homeowners seeking improved garage upgrades. Others are built for heavier project work and seasonal prep. Either way, 2026 inventory is officially out, and in this video, we're walking through 7 of those new releases, what each tool is built to do, what stands out in the design, and how it fits into a real-world setup. Let's get into the first one. 1. DeWalt 20-volt Max XR 7 1/4 inch brushless circular saw. If you've been waiting for a full-size cordless circular saw that doesn't feel like a step down from a corded model, this is one of the more noticeable 2026 releases now showing up at Lowe's. It's not a compact trim saw. It's not a 6.5-inch compromise. This is built around the full 7 1/4-inch blade platform most people associate with framing and general construction work. Keeping that 7 1/4-inch blade size matters. It allows you to cut standard 2x lumber in a single pass, handle plywood sheets cleanly, and work through treated deck boards without adjusting technique. For anyone building a shed, framing a wall, replacing subfloor sections, or tackling deck repairs, that full-size capacity removes limitations you might experience with smaller cordless models. The saw runs on the 20-volt Max battery platform and uses a brushless motor. Brushless motors are designed to improve efficiency and reduce internal wear compared to brushed versions. In practical terms, that usually translates into smoother operation and longer runtime per charge under similar load conditions. You still get standard features like bevel adjustment for angled cuts, a sturdy metal shoe for stability against your work surface, and onboard adjustments that mirror what users expect from DeWalt's established framing saw lineup. The real advantage here is mobility. Cordless makes a difference when you're working on ladders, cutting materials in a driveway, framing outdoors, or building where extension cords become inconvenient or hazardous. Not needing to drag a cord across a yard or roofline simplifies setup and cleanup. At Lowe's, in-store pricing typically lands around $279, though pricing may vary by location. Kit versions that include a battery and charger generally cost more, depending on the amp-hour pack included. That battery size matters more than it seems. A 4.0 amp-hour battery will handle lighter cuts and shorter sessions, while a 5.0 amp-hour pack can extend runtime noticeably during continuous framing or sheet ripping. Before purchasing, pay close attention to blade orientation. DeWalt offers both blade right and blade left configurations depending on the specific model. Some users prefer blade left for improved cutline visibility if they're right-handed, while others prefer the traditional blade right feel. It's a personal workflow choice, so checking in store can prevent buying the wrong configuration. Also, double-check whether you're purchasing a bare tool or a full kit. The boxes can look similar at first glance, and that price difference reflects whether a battery and charger are included. This release emphasizes cutting capability and cordless convenience within an already established battery system. But the next tool moves away from lumber and into something designed to help you identify and organize your home's electrical circuits with more accuracy. 2. Klein Tools Digital Circuit Breaker Finder Kit. If you've ever stood in front of your breaker panel flipping switches one by one while someone shouts from another room when the power finally goes out, this tool is designed to eliminate that entire process. The Klein Tools Digital Circuit Breaker Finder Kit is built to accurately identify which breaker controls a specific outlet or circuit. The system works by plugging a small transmitter directly into the outlet you're trying to trace. That transmitter sends a signal through the wiring. You then take the handheld digital receiver to your breaker panel and slowly scan each breaker. When the receiver detects the strongest signal, you've located the correct circuit. It removes guesswork and dramatically reduces the time spent isolating power. For homeowners, this becomes useful fast. Replacing outlets, installing new light fixtures, swapping switches, upgrading to smart dimmers, even troubleshooting why a specific room lost power. Instead of shutting down half the house just to be safe, you can pinpoint the correct breaker in a controlled way. Many versions of this kit also include a receptacle tester built into the transmitter, allowing you to check wiring correctness and GFCI status at the same time. That dual-purpose function adds practical value beyond just breaker tracing. At Lowe's, this kit typically sells around $69, depending on region and store pricing at the time. Prices can vary by location. While it's not a daily use tool for most homeowners, it becomes worthwhile if you're planning multiple electrical updates or simply want your panel labeled properly once and for all. Before purchasing, verify that the package includes both the plug-in transmitter and the handheld receiver. Klein sells separate testers that look similar, but do not include the full tracing functionality. Also, check that you're selecting the digital detection version rather than older analog-style models if the price difference is minimal. The digital models tend to provide clearer identification signals. This tool focuses on accuracy and electrical organization inside the home. But the next release shifts us outside, where water flow, durability, and seasonal irrigation setup start to matter again. 3. Orbit Heavy-Duty Zinc 4-Way Hose Manifold. As Lowe's transitions fully into spring inventory, irrigation hardware starts taking over entire sections of the garden center. And one of the more practical additions for 2026 is the upgraded Orbit Heavy-Duty Zinc 4-Way Hose Manifold. At its core, this is a multi-port hose splitter that connects to a single outdoor spigot and gives you 4 independently controlled outlets. Instead of constantly unscrewing hoses every time you switch tasks, you can leave multiple lines connected at once. That might mean a dedicated drip irrigation line for garden beds, a sprinkler running across the lawn, a standard hose for washing equipment, and another line feeding a pressure washer or hose end sprayer. Each outlet includes its own shutoff valve, allowing you to control water flow individually without shutting down the entire system. The main difference with this version, compared to cheaper models, is the construction. The body is made from zinc rather than molded plastic. The threading is typically brass, which is important because thread failure is one of the most common problems with lower-cost splitters. Over time, plastic units can crack from temperature swings, water pressure fluctuations, or over-tightening. A heavier metal housing tends to hold up better across seasons, especially in areas with strong sun exposure or higher PSI water systems. In-store pricing at Lowe's typically places the 2-way metal version around $12. While the 4-way configuration usually lands close to $19, depending on store location and current inventory pricing. Prices may vary by region. Compared to replacing a plastic splitter every season, this positions itself as more of a longer-term irrigation hardware piece rather than a disposable accessory. Before picking one up, inspect the valve handles. They should turn smoothly without feeling loose or gritty. Check that the internal seals appear intact, and that the threading is clean with no visible machining defects. Also, keep in mind that running 4 high-demand hoses at once can reduce overall pressure output. The splitter doesn't increase water supply, it simply divides it, so planning how you distribute flow still matters. This release focuses on durability and seasonal water control, but the next tool moves us back into the garage, where cleanup power and noise levels start to matter just as much as performance. 4. Stealth Sonic 9-gallon, 5 horsepower, wet/dry shop vacuum. As project season ramps up and garages start turning back into active workspaces, cleanup becomes just as important as cutting and drilling, and Lowe's has expanded its quieter vacuum lineup with the Stealth Sonic 9-gallon wet/dry shop vacuum. This is a mid-capacity wet/dry vacuum designed to handle sawdust, drywall debris, wood chips, vehicle interiors, and small water cleanups. The 9-gallon tank hits a middle ground, large enough for most homeowner projects, but compact enough that it doesn't dominate your garage floor space. It's mounted on rolling casters for mobility and typically includes multiple attachments, like extension wands, a wide floor nozzle, and a crevice tool for tighter corners and vehicle detailing. Where this model separates itself is in noise control. Traditional shop vacs are powerful but notoriously loud, especially in enclosed garages where sound bounces off concrete walls. The Stealth Sonic line is engineered to reduce operating noise while maintaining suction performance. That matters if you're cleaning for extended periods, working indoors, or simply don't want to deal with the sharp, high-pitched whine most older vacuums produce. The 5 horsepower motor rating positions it as strong enough for general workshop cleanup without stepping into heavy contractor territory. It's suitable for post-project sweeps, vacuuming out cars and trucks, cleaning out gutters with the right attachment, and managing dust collection for smaller power tools. At Lowe's, this model is commonly priced around $119, though pricing may vary by location and current promotions. In the 9-gallon category, that places it in the mid-range tier. Not entry-level, but not industrial grade either. Before purchasing, check the hose diameter. A larger hose allows better airflow for bigger debris, while smaller hoses are easier to maneuver, but can clog more easily. Pay attention to the cord length as well. Shorter cords reduce flexibility and often require extension cords. Also consider whether you need a larger tank size if you frequently handle heavy demolition or large volumes of material. This release focuses on controlled, quieter cleanup inside the garage. But the next tool shifts from suction power to a compact upgrade that changes how you handle detailed pressure washing tasks. 5. 4500 PSI Pistol Grip Stubby Pressure Washer Gun. If you've ever used a full-length pressure washer wand and felt like you were fighting it more than controlling it, this compact pistol grip design is one of the more practical accessory upgrades now appearing on Lowe's shelves for 2026. This stubby-style pressure washer gun is typically rated for up to 4500 PSI, depending on the exact model, and features a quick connect coupler at the tip so you can easily swap between spray nozzles, turbo tips, or foam cannons. The defining feature is its shorter body. By bringing your hand closer to the spray output, you gain noticeably better control when working on detailed surfaces. Where this design really shines is vehicle washing and close-range exterior cleaning. When you're rinsing a car, cleaning wheels, washing siding trim, or spraying patio furniture, a long wand can feel unbalanced and awkward. The stubby format reduces leverage strain on your wrist and forearm. It also allows tighter maneuvering in confined spaces, like between vehicles, under fenders, or around deck railings. Many versions include a trigger safety lock to prevent accidental discharge when repositioning. This isn't meant to replace your full wand for large driveway jobs. Instead, it complements your existing setup. For wide, high-surface cleaning like siding or tall fences, a longer extension still makes sense. But for detailed work, especially when paired with a foam cannon for pre-soak application, the shorter design offers improved precision and comfort. At Lowe's, pricing for these pistol grip stubby guns typically $53, depending on brand, build quality, and pressure rating. Prices may vary by store and region. As an accessory rather than a full equipment purchase, it falls into the mid-range upgrade category for pressure washing setups. Before purchasing, confirm compatibility with your pressure washer's hose connection. Some systems use M22 threaded fittings, while others rely on quick connect couplers. Also verify your machine's PSI and GPM output. While the gun may be rated up to 4500 PSI, it will only perform at the level your pressure washer produces. If this breakdown is helping you get a clearer picture of what's actually worth noticing in the new tool displays, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps support these detailed walkthroughs and keeps more tool coverage coming your way. Now, from high-pressure water control, we shift indoors because the next release changes how your garage looks and functions the moment you flip the lights on. 6. Cree LED Hexagon Garage Lighting Kit. If you've ever tried to work under dim garage lighting and noticed shadows following every movement, this is one of the more visually impactful 2026 editions now appearing at Lowe's. Lighting upgrades don't always get the same attention as power tools, but they directly affect how well you can use every other tool in the room. The Cree LED Hexagon Garage Lighting Kit uses a modular grid design made up of interconnected hexagon-shaped LED panels, instead of a single strip light running down the center of your ceiling. This system spreads illumination outward in multiple directions. The 5-panel configuration creates a structured layout that distributes light evenly across a wider surface area, reducing harsh shadows and uneven brightness. In practical terms, that means clearer visibility over workbenches, tool chests, vehicle engine bays, and cutting stations. Traditional single-point lighting often creates dark zones around wall edges or under cabinets. A multi-angle grid setup reduces those blind spots by pushing light from several directions at once. That becomes especially noticeable when detailing a vehicle, assembling small hardware, or making precision cuts. The kit uses LED technology, which offers lower energy consumption compared to older fluorescent fixtures. and typically delivers a longer operational lifespan. Many versions are designed to be dimmable, allowing you to adjust brightness depending on whether you're doing detailed project work or general garage cleanup. The hexagon layout also adds a modern workshop aesthetic, which appeals to homeowners upgrading their garage into a more dedicated workspace. At Lowe's, the 5-panel Cree hexagon lighting kit is commonly priced around $90, though pricing may vary by store location and regional inventory differences. Compared to installing multiple standalone LED shop lights, this positions itself as a more structured, design-forward lighting solution rather than a basic utility fixture. Before purchasing, check the total lumen output. Panel count alone doesn't determine brightness. Lumen rating tells you how much actual light output you're getting. Measure your ceiling dimensions to confirm the layout fits proportionally within your space. Also, review installation requirements. Some versions may require hardwiring, while others offer plug-in configurations. Planning the mounting layout before installation prevents spacing issues once panels are connected. This release focuses on visibility and workspace enhancement. And now, for the final tool, we shift from lighting and layout to something that affects how you store, move, and organize every tool in your setup. 7. Tough-built StackTech Modular Tool Storage System. The final 2026 edition moves away from performance upgrades and into something just as important: organization and mobility. Because no matter how good your tools are, how you store and transport them directly affects how efficiently you work. The tough-built StackTech modular storage system is designed as a fully stackable, interlocking toolbox platform. Instead of one oversized bin where everything gets tossed together, this system separates storage into purpose-built components. A rolling base, medium and large toolboxes, shallow organizers for fasteners, and smaller accessory cases. Each piece is engineered to lock vertically into the one below it, creating a single transport stack that moves as one unit. The rolling base is typically built with rugged wheels and a telescoping handle designed for moving across driveways, gravel, garage floors, and job sites. That matters if you're transporting heavier power tools like circular saws, drills, and impact drivers. The upper toolboxes snap into place using reinforced latching systems designed to prevent shifting while rolling. When locked properly, the stack behaves like one structured unit rather than multiple loose boxes. Inside the toolboxes, the layout is usually more deliberate than traditional storage bins. You'll find divided compartments, removable trays, and reinforced interiors meant to hold heavier cordless tools without flexing. The organizer sections are built to store screws, anchors, drill bits, and hardware in separated compartments so you're not digging through mixed fasteners mid-project. What makes modular systems different from basic plastic toolboxes is long-term scalability. You don't have to buy everything at once. You can start with a rolling base and one toolbox, then add organizers or specialty compartments later. StackTech is positioned as ToughBuilt's expandable ecosystem, offering an alternative to other modular systems available at Lowe's. Pricing varies by component. The rolling base typically lands around $159, depending on store and region. Mid-sized toolboxes generally fall into the $50 to $70 range, while smaller organizers and accessory cases cost less. Pricing may vary by location and availability. Because each piece is sold individually, total investment depends on how large of a system you build. Before committing to any modular storage platform, inspect the latch design carefully. Lock and unlock it several times to feel how secure it engages. Lift a connected stack slightly if possible to gauge stability. Also, think long-term. Once you choose a system, expansion works best within that same product line, so compatibility across future editions matters. This final release highlights workflow efficiency, tying together mobility, organization, and expandability. With that, we've covered 7 of the newer 2026 tool and equipment editions now showing up at Lowe's shelves, spanning cutting, diagnostics, irrigation, cleanup, detailing, lighting, and storage in one full walkthrough of what's new this year. How these 2026 releases fit into real-world use. Now that we've walked through each individual tool, it's worth stepping back and looking at how these releases actually fit into everyday use. Not just as standalone purchases, but as part of a working setup. The DeWalt circular saw represents mobility and cutting power for framing, deck repairs, and sheet goods. It's a tool that makes sense when you're building, modifying, or repairing structural elements around the house. It replaces cords with portability while keeping full-size blade performance. The Klein circuit breaker finder shifts the focus indoors. It's about control and precision, identifying the correct breaker before replacing outlets, installing light fixtures, or upgrading switches. Instead of guessing at the panel, it gives you a clearer, more methodical process. The orbit hose manifold moves outdoors again, but this time toward maintenance and irrigation. It's not about power, it's about water management. Running multiple hoses efficiently without constant reconnecting becomes important during lawn care season. The Stealth Sonic Shop vacuum supports cleanup after every project. Whether you're cutting lumber, sanding drywall, or detailing a vehicle, dust management is part of the workflow. A quieter vacuum changes the comfort level of longer sessions. The stubby pressure washer gun improves control during detailed exterior cleaning. It complements a full pressure washer system rather than replacing it, especially for vehicle washing or close-range work. The Cree hexagon lighting kit upgrades visibility. Good lighting impacts every single task: cutting accuracy, wiring clarity, tool organization, and even safety. And finally, the tough-built StackTech storage system ties everything together by improving transport and organization. It's not about adding capability, it's about managing what you already own more efficiently. When you look at these releases, collectively, they don't all target the same type of user. Some focus on construction-level work, some focus on home maintenance, some improve comfort and organization, but together, they reflect how tool design is shifting. More cordless integration, more modular systems, more workflow-oriented upgrades, rather than just raw power increases. That's the full overview of Lowe's early 2026 tool wave, from cutting and diagnostics to cleanup, lighting, and storage. That wraps the 7 new tool and equipment additions now showing up for 2026 at Lowe's. From full-size cordless cutting power to electrical troubleshooting precision to irrigation durability, quieter cleanup, controlled pressure washing, upgraded garage lighting, and modular storage, this wave of releases touches almost every part of a typical home setup. Some of these focus on performance, some focus on convenience, some are about long-term durability. But together, they show where the tool aisle is heading this year. More cordless integration, more modular systems, and more purpose-built upgrades instead of one-size-fits-all solutions. If you want more walkthroughs like this, as new 2026 inventory continues hitting shelves, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next breakdown.